The Battle of Jangsari is a 2019 South Korean action war film directed by Kwak Kyung-taek and co-written by Kim Tae-hoon and starring Kim Myung-min, Megan Fox, and Choi Min-ho. The film, the second in a trilogy that began with Operation Chromite, tells the true story of a group of 772 student soldiers who staged a small diversionary operation at Jangsari Beach in Yeongdeok to divert North Korean attention away from Incheon. Megan Fox plays Maggie, a New York Herald Tribune reporter and war correspondent who covered the Korean War and appealed to the international community for help. Kim Myung-min plays the commander of a guerrilla task force, while Choi Min-ho plays a low-ranking soldier. The landing operation is led by George Eads. The film, produced by Taewon Entertainment and distributed by Warner Brothers Korea, was released theatrically in South Korea on September 25, 2019, and by Well Go USA on October 4, 2019. During the Korean War, a group of 772 student soldiers led by a guerrilla task force commander is tasked with staging a diversionary mission at Jangsari Beach in South Korea, deceiving North Korean forces into believing the opposition forces would launch a decisive invasion there. They would thus be able to pave the way for the Incheon landing operation. Meanwhile, an American reporter and war correspondent, Megan Fox, covers the Korean War and attempts to enlist international assistance as the soldiers struggle to complete their mission due to a lack of proper training, weapons, and adequate food and supplies. On the Munsanyo, a guerrilla army battalion under the command of Captain Lee Myung-jun, Kim Myung-min, is traveling to Jangsari with 772 student soldiers, including Choi Sung-pil, Min-ho. Their goal is to fool the people of North Korea into believing that an invasion by opposition forces would be decisive. One day later, in Incheon, the actual invasion and combat will take place. The 772 student soldiers on the ship have only received 2 weeks of instruction, and their average age is 17. They attempt to land in Jangsari while being shot at. The film begins on a troop transport ship, transporting student soldiers, adult non-commissioned officers, and their leader, Captain Lee Myung-jun, Kim Myung-min, to the front lines. The majority of the attention is focused on the students, who, despite carrying loaded rifles and knowing they are about to engage in combat, act like typical adolescent boys. Hee-ha Ryan, Kim Sung-chul, one of the soldiers, jokes about how many girls wished him well before he left. As they wade onto the beach, some more mature boys, and these are truly just boys, try to ensure that everyone knows how to keep their rations dry. Because the student soldiers are unable to swim, the ship's crew must secure ropes to help guide them to shore. Choi Sung-pil, Choi Min-ho, one of the student squad leaders, volunteers to assist the adults with this effort. He is fortunate to have survived the operation, as the adult team members are killed by machine gun fire. The remaining student soldiers begin to make their way ashore, but machine gun fire kills many of them in the water, reminiscent of the Normandy landing in Saving Private Ryan. The student soldiers flee, hiding behind any cover they can find and crying for their mothers. Some of the adult leaders take command and successfully secure a beachhead, albeit with significant loss of life and innocence. The Battle of Jangsari revolves around the loss of innocence. When the students first set out on their journey to war, they are little more than innocent teenagers with interests and problems similar to those we might have had as adolescents. They are wrenched from their comfort and free-spirited nature after witnessing death for the first time, confronted with the harsh realities of war. The taking of life, as well as seeing death, shakes their innocence. One of the soldiers pauses before sniping a machine gunner from a safe distance. He later discovers the body of the North Korean soldier he shot, only to discover that this soldier, like him, has a family. That's all, guys. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe the channel. Hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment,